I'm gonna get some pictures myself. I'm gonna invite you to some stuff, bro. I really am. I'm gonna invite you. Listen to the motor. Wow. Kind of like a brand new engine. But this is what they saying about this car. Like, it's nuts reliable. Wow. Oh, you recording?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm just like, all right, my bad.
You're on camera.
All right, cool. 318.
Okay.
What do I like about it? My name is Charles Geer, and passionate about old cars.
And Keller Williams too.
With Keller Williams. I used to race a car called the Porsche 911 Super Cup. A lot of you racers may know about that. And just passionate about cars, but it's always going to be race inspired. Why I'm passionate about it. Since he got the camera on me, I'm going to go ahead and point to one of mine. Got the BMW E36 ZHP over here, which is also a race-inspired car. This was actually a slick top, meaning there's no sunroof, and I bought it just for that purpose because it's a lightweight. But let's go back to the car we're talking about today. This right here is the BMW 318 1994 model.
Yeah, like 95, yeah.
95 model, same year as mine. Stop this brother right here because I admire his car. But why? This is a 1.8 liter engine with 138 horsepower. That don't normally make people get real excited, but it's an old school BMW, super reliable. He has almost 300,000 miles on it. But what I love about this car is it handles well. I'm a track instructor at Road Atlanta. I take my 318 on the racetrack. But what's so good about it? 50-50 balance. Whereas the newer cars, they're not quite 50-50. But how did BMW do it? I'm going to show you how they did it.
What does 50-50 balance mean?
Okay, what it means is that it's 50-50 weight distribution from the front to the back.
Wow.
Okay, but I'm going to show you how they did it. As you can see, this is a very short motor because it's 1.8 liters. And it's shoved all the way to the back. A normal 6-cylinder, like my 330, that engine space is going to come a little bit further up front. Still considered a balanced car, the 6-cylinder, but this was more balanced.
So it is still considered a balanced car.
Well, this is the most balanced car BMW ever made. Because it's such a short motor, they were able to shove it to the back. This is nothing but space right here. It's a fan shroud. There's nothing right here. Okay? And because of that, it acts as a mid-engine car.
Wow.
All right. The other great thing about a 318 is this right here.
What does it being balanced allow it to do more effectively?
It allows people like me that race road course to be able to, first of all, throw the car around, and it's real hard to lose the balance, to lose the back end of the car. Wow. The other thing it does, it makes the car super quick in the corners.
Wow. Okay.
So even though this car doesn't have a lot of horsepower, 138 horse, it is extremely quick around the track because it turns so well. Which means what? It does not have to slow down as much as other cars in the corners.
Wow.
Okay?
Got it.
So you're able to keep your foot on the gas longer, which makes it much quicker.
Wow.
What do I love about the 318 engine? Well, this one speaks for itself. This one has 291,000 miles. Okay? Wow. And listen to it. It still sounds like a brand new engine.
Right, huh?
You can't beat that. Let me talk a little bit about the motor though. What's inside of it? When they came out with this motor in 1989, what they did was they added some newer technology, but they didn't go over the top like the engines that we have today. So they kept the reliability of the motor. It has an iron block, an iron lower end. What is that good for? It's good because it can hold a lot of heat, which means that you can run it real hard and it won't overheat. But that's not it. It has a forged crankshaft. Okay, so what is the crankshaft? Many of you looking at this video already know what a crankshaft is, but for the layman's, let me explain. The crankshaft is what turns and moves those pistons that we talk so much about. But why is it forged? It's forged because they had intentions on racing this engine. And actually BMW factory in Germany, they actually did race this engine. So this engine is very similar to the early M3 engines, except it's just smaller.
So what does forged mean? When you say it's forged?
Okay, the forged process is this right here. I'm going to share the differences. Okay, most engines that you see have cast parts inside of the internal, which means that the metal is poured into a cast. Forged means that metal is poured into a cast, but the actual crankshaft is actually cut away from those cast parts. It makes it stronger. So it's not, again, to explain, it's not poured into its shape. A big block is poured, and then it is cut into the shape that it is, and that makes it porous.
Wow.
Yep.
Got it. That's
All
good.
right. And what it does, it makes the engine very strong. Great for reliability, great for cruising around, but for maniacs like me that love to drive hard and fast, it allows me to be able to beat on the car and it be able to handle it. Let's hear that engine one more time. That is an engine with almost 300,000 miles on it. Let's take a look at one more thing.
Now, did you see Ford versus Ferrari?
Say it again.
Did you see Ford versus Ferrari?
I didn't, but I know the story behind that, and I'm glad you mentioned it because I will go see it. I'm kind of a historian, so I do know the story about Ford coming in to try to beat the Ferraris, and I think they were successful in doing
Yes,
that.
sir.
And I'm a fan of all cars. Just to let you guys know, I'm not just a BMW guy. As I mentioned to you, used to race Porsches, race BMWs, got an old Toyota Land Cruiser at the house. Anything old, if it runs well, if it can go 500,000 miles, I'm gonna love it. I want to point out one more thing about this particular car, okay? This is a 4-door, right?
Yes, sir.
So people might say, if I was gonna have a car like this that's race inspired, I'd rather have a 2-door. That's not the way BMW factory was thinking. What the BMW factory was thinking was, let's make it 4-door because we can make it stiffer by this right here. This right here is called a B pillar, okay? All right, it's kind of like part of the frame of the car. When you open the door, you can see how sturdy that is, okay? Whereas a 2-door, it doesn't have a B-pillar. It has a longer door, which allows for just a little bit of flex. So, in the early days, BMW's race cars, majority of the time, were actually 4 doors.
Wow.
Okay? So,
That's big.
what it does is it makes this the most balanced, stiffest chassis of its era.
Wow.
And me coming from Porsche, I have seen many a battle that I've been a part of, and I have seen on video where the BMWs and the Porsches are the ones going at it. Because in long distance racing, when it comes to these 12-hour, 24-hour races, you need the reliability, not just speed. That's what Porsche and BMW have to offer. I hope you send me that video, 'cause I'm going to definitely post it on YouTube.
Oh,
My name is Charles Geer, born and raised in the ATL. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams. I hope I was able to educate you guys to some of these old cars that you might turn your nose up to, but if you take a closer look, you'll see that they're actually exceptional cars. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. My name is Saint Dadioba, and I'm actually the architect of the Your Day Balance game. We'll talk about that later. Peace.